Okay, so this is our video on Unit 1 and its roots of quadratics. So let's take a wee look at what we have and we'll see how it all works out. So if an algebraic equation in which the unknown quantity is x is satisfied by putting x equal to c, we say that x is a root of the equation. For example, x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0 is satisfied by putting x equal to 2. So one of the roots is 2. The other, incidentally, is 3. So it's the solutions to the quadratic equation. It is often useful to be able to obtain the information about the roots of an equation without actually solving it. For instance, if you know that alpha and beta are the roots of an equation, the value of alpha squared and beta squared can be found without actually finding the values of alpha and beta. This is done by finding the values of alpha plus beta and expressing that in the form of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. I'll explain a bit more about that later. If we know we have two roots of an equation, they get put in like this. The equation whose roots are alpha and beta may be written like this. So x minus alpha, x minus beta. If you multiply that out, first gives me x squared, that's inner, outer, and then last you end up with that. And so rearranging this, take the minus out the front and take out the x to that side there. X squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. Also, suppose that alpha plus beta are roots of this equation, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And we can write that if you divide through by a, getting x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Now 1 and 2 are exactly the same equations. So the coefficients of x, so there must be, if the coefficients of x must be equal, then b over a must equal minus alpha plus beta. So alpha plus beta is minus b over a. The constant term then, so the c over a must then be the same as alpha beta. So alpha beta then is c over a, and these are your two formulas that you need to know and love and know how to use, and that's where we work from then for the rest of this unit. Let's take a wee look at some of the questions that you can be asked then. So the first one says, write down the sums and products of the roots of the following equations. Here's what we know. We know alpha plus beta is minus b over a. I've just taken it from the last page, and we know that alpha beta is equal to c over a. Obviously the sum of the roots is alpha plus beta, where these are the two roots, and the product of the roots then is alpha beta. Okay, so the sum alpha plus beta is minus b over a. So in this particular case we have minus 2 all over a, which is 3. So the sum of the roots is 2/3, and the product of the roots is c over a, and that's then going to be minus 7 over 3. It's as straightforward as that. Here, alpha plus beta, so minus b over a is going to be minus 11 over 5. And the product of the roots is c over a, so it's going to be 3 over 5. This one, hope we can see, needs a little bit of a rearrangement first. So 2x squared plus 5x minus 1 equals 0. And then just same as before, so alpha plus beta is minus b over a, so it's minus 5 over 2. And alpha beta is minus 1 over 2, or minus a half. Again, multiply this out and rearrange it. So multiplying out, this is 2x squared plus 2x equals x plus 7. 2x squared, what does that give me? Plus x minus 7 equals 0. And then it's the same as before, alpha plus beta minus b over a, so minus 1 over 2. And then alpha beta is equal to minus 7 over 2. Write down equations. Now there's infinite amount of equations you could write for each one, but the sums and products of the whose roots are respectively that. So what this tells us is that we know alpha plus beta is equal to 7, and we know alpha beta is equal to 12. That means alpha plus beta, so b over a bit, if this is a 1, then the minus 7x there plus 12 equals 0 would work, because if you do it backwards, minus b over a, so minus 7 over 1, minus 7, sorry, would give us a 7, and it works out like that. I hope that you can see that. Here, our alpha plus beta is of course 3, and our alpha beta is minus 2, so an equation would be x squared minus 3x minus 2 equals 0. This one here we can tidy up very slightly. We want to sort of be reasonably sensible about it. If I write that alpha plus beta is minus a half, I'm actually going to write that as minus 4 over 8 because I think it's easier. And then alpha beta is minus 3 over 8. And then you can see that the a now is going to be 8, and that will make it work for the whole thing. So we're going to have 8x squared plus 4x, because remember it's the minus minus there, and then minus 3 is equal to 0. This final one here, alpha plus beta is 2/3, and then alpha beta is 0, so the c has to be 0. There can't be a number term in this particular one, and then that's going to be that. So we're going to have the 3 in the bottom, so that's a 3x squared, and then remember a minus 2x equals 0.